Halloween here had always been pretty typical before the Water House. It had been the Packer House before, up on top of our street. Out front, the Packers grew basil beside wild blueberries, kept hummingbird feeders full and dangling from their cedar shingle porch. Right above Crayola-colored old buoys everyone flanked their exterior railings with. You could make out the Packers heading to the pool each morning by sound, their screen doors springs stretching, their flip-flops smacking downhill like clucking tongues, their long swim parkas swooshing. The Packers had a pool covered in their backyard, wrapped in brick and boxwoods and dumped on by pine needles. They preferred swimming at the club pool, though. Water here was always cold. People only swam in pools whose heat was paid for with membership dues, never personal pools or the ocean itself. Maybe in wetsuits, or regret if naive, tourist, drunk, or all three. Like birds, the Packers headed where it was warmer, Florida. Too many slipping hazards here, especially in snow, and Mrs. Packer had already broken her hip. Twice. So it ceased to be theirs, and frankly, neighborhood kids weren't too bummed to see them go. The Packers, nice and all, gave out peppermint patties on Halloween and didn't have grandkids to offer for weekend and summer play. Interestingly, the buyer hailed from somewhere warm himself, but no kids either. Just a man and a moving truck filled with unlabeled boxes, furniture covered in grommeted sound blankets and clear tape. After unpacking, or whatever he did after the truck left and the screen slammed, he hung some of those blankets over his front windows, obstructing light and sound and snooping efforts. Quieter, less normal than the Packers. Well then. "Big Hollywood guy," Virginia whispered. "Mr. Waters." "Oh, you've actually met him?" Neighbors responded, their dogs breaking outside Virginia's yard, where she'd leave a dry metal bowl they all treated as a mid-walk bullseye for their urine, pissed she never added water. Everyone had seen Mr. Waters' silhouetted, shadowy form, a large man with dark facial hair and tinted glasses who ordered Chinese delivery a few times a week. A real recluse, only answering his door to sign for DHL packages or pick up his knotted bag of food, white and red cartons with disposable chopsticks left on his inherited doormat. The homemade cobblers and sourdoughs welcoming neighbors offered him went unclaimed on his porch, save for hummingbirds who jabbed into the baked berries. "Well, I tried, of course," Virginia explained. "But Phyllis told me everything from the sale." Virginia paused, always trying to edge her neighbors with busybody information nobody asked for. "Phyllis said Mr. Waters worked in big blockbuster films, even won an Oscar, and she said, get this, was being consulted to turn one into a roller coaster or something in Dubai." Virginia volunteered at the bookstore, but wasn't allowed to give customers recommendations on account of her political and erotic leanings. Still, those books weren't going to alphabetize themselves. In her plentiful spare time, Virginia mayored her neighbors, like when it came to beautifying the traffic circle down at the street's end. After the city felled a maple and replaced it with round curbs, fresh concrete, and a gaping gray hole, it calmed traffic but angered idle minds. Virginia CC'd all, "What should we do about this?" Many responded, volunteering their ideas, time, supplies. "Another tree? How about a community garden or a kid's garden?" "Yes, or a pet cemetery. Could add a plaque and a dog stick library." The pool of collaboration flowed from many households, trickling in ideas. Virginia went and planted geraniums in the circle, then replied all, they could chip in to pay her back. Like a wave always beckoning, then washing away sandcastles, she was. Lowering her voice into a sharp little riptide, she added, "Phyllis told me he'd been fired. Studio shut him out. Never married, nothing. He told Phyllis our town reminded him of a movie." It could have made less sense, a man moving here. A seaside slice of family-friendly suburbia, reachable by boat or puddle jumper,
The louder city over is where most new beginners migrated, stacking their lives' rocks like totems. Engineers turned farm-to-table chefs, spies turned bed-and-breakfast proprietors, prostitutes turned lobstermen. Here lived, well, mostly leftover seniors and content families, offspring watered down from humble boating industries. The sorts to watch the water ebb and flow, freeze and thaw, and ultimately make the most of and live off its idyllic majesty. Artists came from miles to paint this rocky coastline, to capture the lighthouse at sunrise or sunset, high tide, low tide,